my Lord, my Redeemer liveth. And I know that I have fought the good fight. And what is stored up for me is a crown. And I'm going to get my crown. He said, but the crown I'm going to get is the guidance for the next 10,000 years. He said, put up the Jesus that everybody's looking at. And they put up that white Jesus. And he said, isn't he beautiful? He said, now put up my Jesus. And they put up the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And I'm just bearing witness to the fact that that man, Elijah Muhammad, that's the Jesus for black people. That's the one, brothers and sisters. And people are going to have to come into an understanding of that. But Minister Farrakhan is the witness. And we are witnesses of that witness. Now, in October of 1989, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan had a press conference in Washington, D.C. And in that press conference, he spoke to the government of America and told them of the plans of Reagan and the Joint Chiefs of Staff in planning a war against an Islamic country, and how he saw that that war was bigger. It was going against black youth all around America. And he told them of the plans. He told them where he got it from. He said, I got it from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad on the wheel. And then a few weeks later, it ended up coming out in the press that Reagan had met with the Joint Chiefs of Staff to plan a war. I'm saying that to say this. The minister told us on October 15th of 2017 that he was going to go back to Washington, D.C. and hold the press conference and speak directly to Trump, the government of America, and the world, and tell Trump that he knows what he has in his mind against black people, and warn him about it. Is that right? He will be having this press conference at the Watergate Hotel on November 16th of this month. We want to make sure that you have the information. You'll be able to look at it by webcast and see it go down. We ain't dealing with no punk. We dealing with God's man on the planet that's a fighter on behalf of the oppressed, but particularly on behalf of black people here in America. And what he's bringing is truth coming from God through the Honorable Elijah Muhammad that unlocks us from where we've been stuck at. You and I got to hold hands with this teaching, man. We got to lock on to the truth. Regardless of what train of thought you coming out of or you involved with, don't dismiss this truth. It will add on to what you already know, but it helps to unlock. 28 years after 1989, here's the minister coming back to Washington, D.C. to hold another press conference. The 28th surah of the Holy Quran is the narrative. And in the 28th surah, Moses and Aaron are told to go to Pharaoh on behalf of Allah and his people. Is that right? So you're looking at the minister fulfilling scripture because he is Aaron to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, who was a Moses among us. Going to the Pharaoh. And for those of you who don't understand, a pharaoh is a king and a ruler. In modern day and time, he would be a president.
That's right.
How many preachers we know are speaking on behalf of God to the president?
Not one.
How many do we know, imams and sheikhs in America, that are standing up speaking to the president on behalf of Islam and on behalf of their people and telling them straight up what Allah says versus what y'all doing? Why not? They don't have the mission of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Minister Farrakhan in the Nation of Islam. Our people have to know the truth, and the truth will make them free. What we're doing at this time, we're not only fulfilling prophecy, we're actually coming into the new revelation that Allah has brought us through Master Muhammad.
That's it.
The 6,000 years of the devil's rule is up. They're making new tracks that's not even written. And I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, the wisdom that is here is given by Allah for all of us. So I thank you for giving me your time and your patience. I thank you for taking time to listen to these words and hear our clip from the Honorable Miss Louis Farrakhan. As I greet you all in peace. Assalamu alaikum. All praises are due to Allah. All praises are due to Allah. All praises are due to Allah. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
Brothers and sisters, I'm high right now. But I want to thank Allah for your patience. I want to thank Allah for your time. I want to ask you, how many of you are glad that you came out today by a show of hands? Praise be to Allah. So I'm glad to be here too. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else on a Sunday unless it's somewhere else if I'm doing something. You know, because this is the kind of meeting and the kind of inspiration that gives me fuel for the rest of the week.
All right.
And keep us on track in our thinking as we deal outside these walls, all the imaginations of Shaitan. So I'm always glad to be in the mosque because this becomes a checkmate to prepare me for what I have to do throughout the rest of the week. But I'm happy you that are here today believe what you heard to be the truth and good for us as people. Can I see by show of hands? All praise to the truth in of itself. Let's give the truth a round of applause. Are there any of you that are here for your first time? Never been to the mosque before? Do we have any first-time guests? Please raise your hand. All praises due to Allah. We have my brother. Can you stand, my sister? Can you stand for me so everybody can see you? All praises due to Allah. Yes, ma'am. No, that's all right. If you don't understand, we see you. All praises due to Allah. Thank you, sister. Look, I just want to ask you on behalf of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam, this student representative here in Brooklyn, since he can't be here, I'm here on his behalf because he can't be everywhere. But the fact that you came out to the meeting by invite or even on your own volition, we're thankful to Allah for that. And the fact that you said you're glad that you came and you believe what you heard and that's what you understood to be the truth and good for us as people, that gives to us because that means we set the right atmosphere for you to be comfortable in, you know, and then it also allows you to know from Allah through you that the words I spoke was made clear enough, because I'm always praying to Allah that He helps me articulate it properly so that even if you don't believe it, you understood what I was trying to say. You know, we're responsible for the deliverance of the word. So I'm thankful to Allah for that. But with what you heard and that what you did and what you know of your own knowledge and the condition of our people, if you're glad for what you heard and you believe it to be the truth and good for us as a people, how many of you on that volition would be ready to stand and join hands with Minister Farrakhan by coming into the mosque and learning more of this teaching that we can work together to go after our family, ourselves, and our people? If any of you that want to take that kind of stand, I'll ask the representative like to shake your hand. So is there anybody that want to take a stand, join hands with the Honorable Minister Farrakhan and help us in this work? Don't be shy, don't be bad. Just family here. Take that stand, raise your hand. I want to shake your hand. Come on, Queen. Come on up front. Let's give our sister a round of applause. Let's give Queen Mecca a round. Y'all all right? This is the kind of stuff that makes the devil mad, but it makes us glad. Missing souls he thought he had. Is that right? See, when you teach a man, we're taught you teach an individual. But when you teach a woman, you teach a nation. Because the women are the mother of civilization. And the nation can rise no higher than its woman. So we thank Allah for our sister Queen Mecca. We thank Allah for all of our brothers. But we're doubly thankful to Allah for you, Queen, for standing up to come on and help with this work. All praises to Allah. That's why she looks familiar. Yes, he was in the ranks with us. All praises to Allah. It's good to see you, Queen. All right, yes. And she's in Orient. Come on now. So spirit, and I love that spirit, Queen. Yes. All praises to Allah. He threw up the I'm down with that. That's what I'm talking about. But all praise is due to Allah. So brothers and sisters, listen, let me let you know for future reference. We have classes for our brothers and we have classes for our sisters. You know, we know coming into Islam is not no overnight sensation. And with all the machinations that come against us, we have to be reformed from the way that we were into the way that God, Allah, wants us to be, which is the nature of ourselves. So in our classes, for the FOI class, Fruit of Islam, and for our women's class, Muslim, MGT and GCC, Muslim Girls Training and General Civilization class. The orientation part of that class will come when you stand up for your first time, you start orientating into the teachings of the Honorable Prophet Muhammad, Islam, under his teaching, and that it fits for us to be able to survive and overcome what we're dealing with in America. Because in part of that reformation, we have to learn the discipline that's necessary. We got to know why we're going through what we're going through in the teaching, so that we can have more patience with ourselves and that which we're being taught that's different. And that's why we have a separate class for the women and a separate class for the men. Because when we come together, we according to each other as men. And when the women come together each other according to the nature of each other as women in the name of Allah. And then when we come back together in our meetings, we complement each other's nature because we're getting a better respect for self, God, and our sisters as well as our brothers. But it's all in the making of the Nation of Islam here in North America. So we want to let you know our classes for the sisters is every Saturday morning at our mosque in Harlem, 106-8, 127th Street. It starts at 9:30 a.m. every Saturday morning. For our brothers, we have our classes, our orientation class at the same location, 7:30 p.m. Monday night. Anytime you're ready to take a stand and start coming to the orientation, believe me, sisters, we'll be right there with you. For each step you take towards Allah, He takes 2 steps towards you. So we'll have angel to your left and angel to your right. Brother to your left, brother, angel to your left and one to your right, brother, and one to your left and one to your right, sister. To help you along until you're able to stand on your own with this teaching and this training and bring somebody else all in. But all of it is for the betterment of us all. Yes, sir.
I went to orientation in Harlem, but work interfered. And what I want to know is what can be done for brothers like myself.
Right.
What can we do to
What we can do is we can work that out on Sundays. You know, until we start a class here again. You know what I mean? Because we can still monitor you through the ministry in regards to how's it going with your studies, because you got the particulars, but it's a matter of us track how you're dealing with orientation. In the studies, you just gotta do your letter. All you gotta do is your letter. Start working on doing your letter and send that in. But for other brothers that may be in a particular situation, you have to make at least one of the classes. At least because schedules are really serious. We don't sacrifice time, and we have Saturday class. I mean, sacrifice time, put aside to make sure we help us. But when it's shot, then it's like, okay, well, we might as well just stay with the Monday night as it was. So I'm saying all that to say, yes, in that situation, we're going to try to help and work with you. But, you know, sacrifice have to be made on both sides. All right? Praise be to Allah. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Hey.
I really have a question. I just want to introduce myself.
Yes, ma'am. All right. No problem. Stand up. Go ahead.
And why I'm here.
Yes, ma'am. Peace. Yes, ma'am. Praise be to Allah. Go ahead. Allahu Akbar.
And even though I've been kind of some things in our children
Right. Oh. Yeah.
I don't know how it came,
Mhm.
and I'm tired.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm here.
Mhm.
I will make a commitment. I rededicate my life to the foundation.
Allahu Akbar. Yes. That's right.
I have to break this curse in my family.
Yes.
My grandsons need to see
Mhm.
that the black man is God.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Yes.
I'm from Jersey. I've
Okay.
been in New York 2 years. I've been researching for the past year. I found this mosque to be the most effective as far as what I'm looking for.
All praise due to Allah.
So I go to New Jersey.
Yes, ma'am.
I go every week.
Right.
Get my grandsons and bring them to
Right. Okay. Wow. Praise be to Allah. Take your time, Queen. Yes.
But it is so important. I will lay my head down.
Yes, ma'am. And you have. Mm-hmm.
I can't teach them how
Right.
to be
Right.
men.
Yes.
I've tried.
Right.
And, so I just wanted to let you guys know, so when you see me, you know. When
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
My grandsons was over there. All they see is women dominant. So every
Right.
time they was acting up, they would look at me and I
Right. Yes, I saw you. I saw you. Yes.
Brothers can do what they do,
Right.
you know.
Right.
So I just want to say peace.
Pray, peace, sister. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that testimony. Thank you for that. All praises due to Allah. Yes. And so, we're going to help to the best of our ability where all that is concerned, sister. And the more that we know, the more we know how to help. And so I'm glad that you shared that, and this is all about family, and back in the days, the way we grew up, there was no way in the world you can walk through the streets in the neighborhood and do things that was wrong, and the neighbor didn't check you and check you hard and then take you to your mother and you get 2 behind whippings. Well, that's the kind of love that is generated in the Nation of Islam from what Minister Farrakhan gives us. So we welcome all of that, and so we work with it to the best of our ability. We try to make accommodations. We have the junior FOI that are coming up now that are starting their drill competition in preparation for Savior's Day. So every week or every other week, we have them here and then we have them uptown. But sister, you see, and it'd be good for the young brothers to see them when they see people of their age and their size in ranks drilling. It's just like, oh man, that does something to the nature and spirit of any black man and woman, because we're warriors by nature and when we're militant by nature, and when they see that, it's like, oh wow, I can do that too, because when you see somebody your size and your age doing, you want to do it. Right. You know what I mean? And then after you get over the infatuation, you start drinking in the discipline. You see, and that's something that has to be there. So I'm thankful to Allah that you shared what you shared, and I'm thankful to Allah that we're here to be able to help where that is concerned. All praise is due to Allah. Let's give our sister another well-deserved round of applause. Now, brothers and sisters, we're going to close. I want you to know our next meeting will be on a Wednesday night here at Muhammad Mosque, and we'll have our study group. We're studying the lecture series of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan on the time and what must be done. We go through the lecture series of the information, particular parts, and then we have question and answer discussion on the topic matter. So you can come out every Wednesday night. We start at 8 o'clock. We end at 9:30. If you can make it out, come on out. Tell a friend, tell a relative. You don't have to bring nothing but a good spirit and your willingness to think. We'll have the other material here for you to go by. Then on Friday nights, we have our study group on self-improvement, the basis for community development, where we're dealing with self-analysis, self-examination, and self-correction by way of studying different topics and how the prophets of God dealt with them throughout the Holy Quran and some of the Bible. And some of the topics are overcoming difficulty, mixed feelings and controversy. How do we handle it? Rising above emotion into the thinking of God, building the will. You know, so as we go into these things, you'll be surprised. And all of it is coming from what the minister has put out since 1986. You know, and these study guides, I mean, they flow, and even the scriptural references. And brothers and sisters, as we get deep into that, it makes you and I to learn how to deal with our own impediments that's in our personality that conflicts with the knowledge we have of God. It's one thing for us to know that the black man is God. It's one thing for us to know that we are the original people and we are God. It's another thing, how do you work out all of the funky stuff that has been put in us from this society with the knowledge of supreme wisdom and the things that go on and the thoughts that come into our mind. These study guides help us to really analyze ourselves as we move on wisdom of why isn't the devil settled on the best part of the planet Earth. These study guides help us to examine ourselves on how we respond to different things that come into our life, that we don't allow those things to control us, we control it. And it also makes us correct what we see in our own self that is not right. But these discussions, I'm telling you, is powerful. But I want you to know it's on Friday nights. On Friday nights, we go into this at 7:30, from 7:30 to 9 p.m. If you can make it out, come on out. We have study guides downstairs that you can purchase. And even if you're not able to make it out, at least you have the material, because the minister put this out for all of us. All right? So I just wanted to make sure you knew that. Make sure before you leave, you get your Final Call newspaper, because you're supporting your own when you buy your paper. This is to raise the consciousness of us as a people. It costs $2, but that $2 is nothing in comparison to what you get out of the paper that comes out on a weekly basis. And there is no advertisement that's giving us support by anything negative. Everything from cover to cover is positive, and it raises our consciousness. Every article in this paper. And of course, the centerfold article is always from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Minister Farrakhan, because they're the center of our attention when it comes down to the foundation of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. So please support the Final Call newspaper. Now, before we go, we want to make sure we take up some charity.